Statements are considered the most important part of an essay. Whether or not you knew that, we're going to talk about it in today's writing lesson, the expository thesis statement. So, what is a thesis statement? Well, a thesis statement is just 1 to 2 sentences explaining what the reader will learn about the topic by the end of your essay or writing. This is considered the core message of the entire essay or writing. So, you might want to think about it as the 1 or 2 sentence summary of the whole text. If you had to summarize the whole essay into 1 to 2 sentences, your thesis statement should be that summary. And you're going to often see this at the end of the introduction paragraph or the first paragraph of an informational essay or writing. So, what's in an expository thesis statement? Typically, you're going to see 2 things. The first thing you're going to see is a factual topic. So, you're going to state a real topic that you want to explain or analyze in your expository essay or writing. And again, expository means informational. So, we're focusing just on information, not opinion. And then the second part you should see is the key aspects. What will you specifically explain or analyze about your topic? So what things within your topic do you want to really talk about the most? Most expository thesis statements are going to fall under 5 categories. The first one meaning it'll focus on what's the problem of something and what's a good solution. It might also look at comparison and contrast. So how are 2 things similar and how are they different? It might just describe what they look like if it's something people don't know about, or describe what that thing does if people have never used it before. They might look at the causes and effects of certain events in history or currently. And it may also just focus on discussing sequential events. So either the chronological timeline of an event or a person's life, or the step-by-step process for how to do something. The big thing here is, again, you're not wanting to argue an opinion or persuade the audience to believe something, because that's not based necessarily in fact. There's a lot more subjective opinion and belief in there and assumptions. We don't do that in expository writing. We only look at the facts and only stick to what we actually know for sure. So do not argue an opinion or persuade the audience of anything. Facts are facts. This is just what we're looking at. So let's look at a good example. Our first example says, while Meowtopians look identical to house cats, there are many ways to tell them apart and know if your cat is from Earth or space. So our factual topic is probably more Meowtopians is the real topic, but we are looking at how they are identical to house cats. But we're also going to talk about how there are ways to tell them apart. And those are the key aspects, is we're looking at how they are different from Earth cats. So looking at the 5 categories this could fall under at the bottom, it's probably going to be a little bit more descriptive. It's just describing how the cats behave differently to regular cats and what they might look like that's different. We could also call this comparison and contrast, because we are comparing and contrasting how the cats and the aliens are similar and different. Another good example, we have alien attacks have increased 517% over the last 3 years, creating a need for a more robust Space Force response. So our topic is alien attacks. And then the key aspects are that they have increased over the last 3 years, and we need a more robust Space Force response. And looking at our 5 categories of an expository thesis statement, this is pretty squarely problem and solution. Our problem is alien attacks have increased. The solution, we need a more robust Space Force response. Let's look at a bad example. You should be scared of Meowtopians because they will someday take over the Earth, and they also have a history of lying to humans. Well, we might technically have the factual topic being Meowtopians, but it's telling you how to feel. And that's not a fact, that's an opinion, that's subjective. So you're automatically getting off of the fact line we need to be on. And again, the key aspects they have here are really just points in your argument. They're explaining, oh, they'll someday take over the Earth and they have a history of lying. Some of this might be, the history of lying might be true, but someday take over the Earth is an assumption. That's not fact. So this is a bad thesis statement for an expository writing because it is based on assumptions or feelings, not facts. So hopefully this explains everything you need to know. If you have any more questions about thesis statements, let me know. Otherwise, happy writing.